Hello guys, welcome back to The Crew 2. One of the earliest designs that we have done in that game, released June 2018. That was more or less version 1.1 or 1.0 I should say, and then 1.1 was Gator Rush. That was update number 1. That brought the hovercraft and so on. Update 1.2 was the Demolition Derby, followed by some new tracks that came along from January till April. And then in April we got the Hotshots update, which was update 1.3 alongside Summit batch number 1. And then in July we more or less, well, although players probably will not consider that an update, but we had 1.4, which was Summit batch number 2 coming in to the game. Of course, these summits, in a way, they are updates because they brings new content. In the first Summit batch, that was mainly new tracks every week that came in towards the summit. In Summit batch number 2, it was more specific specs, not necessarily new cars. Of course, we had a few new cars from the Premium Summit, but the other cars that came in with the Summit were not necessarily new. We already had them in the game, but we were missing a few specs here and there. That's what they brought into the game with Summit batch number 2. Rallycross, Mustang, a couple of drift cars, a monster truck, a Hummer, and stuff like that. That is more or less what they have done over time. Meanwhile, I'm sort of going over my 10 liveries that I had here in this thing. And then I sort of had to stop designing, although I'm not really designing, just have been messing about a bit, making a few TCR liveries and such. But I sort of had to stop because, yeah, we had no more room. We could only save 10 of these liveries. That will no longer be the case in The Crew 2 Blazing Shot. As of tomorrow at 10 AM Paris time, there will be a patch/maintenance. You know already by now what that means. That means the game goes down at 10 AM. They have to bring in all this kind of stuff into the servers. And then you, of course, afterwards, when it is up and running, you have to download that first before you can play it. The estimated patch size, 15.5 gigabyte. So although it might not immediately bring in new features as such in the game, it brings in all kind of stuff as you can see here. Sort of summarized on this picture here. 17 new live summits with themed weeks in game, various game improvements alongside the summit. 17 new events, which means that there will be also in this batch of summits one new track every week. 12 new vehicles coming, either a couple of them tomorrow, the rest throughout the summits. 78 new vanity items, including the underglow/neon that comes new into the game. This is only the beginning, of course, because you can expect more in update 6, 7, and 8 of that stuff as well. I'm assuming they come up with some other stuff by then as well. When you're looking for like specifically new features, something to do next to the summit or so, then you're looking for update number 6, more or less. Nevertheless, also here we have some stuff to work with. We can play some summits, we can test some new cars, and so on. We will go over it and see what is going on here in this one. New vanity item is Underglow. More specifically, 25 of them will come alongside the summit or in the shop. It's either one of those two. Next to that, they will also bring 27 new tires and 26 new smokes. So you're gonna have like some special effects or some other colors or stuff like that coming in towards the upcoming weeks and months, more or less, because this thing will last, of course, logically till update 6 in spring. 17 new live summits and their associated set of activities and rewards, including regular team weeks. Every now and then we're going to have like a team week. The first one is the first premium summit of this batch, November 27th, the Ghost Road special event, which more or less is related to Halloween in a way. We will have something around Christmas. What else could we have? Lunar, for instance, the Chinese New Year, Valentine, themes like that you can expect throughout the upcoming summits. They say 17 new here, but I think it's actually 17 plus 1. One summit will come back, be repeated. We could vote on that thing. Personally, I voted on the one with the Devo Magma edition. That will be at the end of this all. They will repeat, as far as I know, only one this time. Here in November we did 3 repeats. Back in, where are we then? March somewhere, I'm guessing. If you do starting tomorrow at 17 Wednesdays, you're gonna end up somewhere in March. Then they will add one repeat, and then I'm assuming it will be update number 6 by then. They have also fixed some summit stuff, more specifically audio track from the live summit introduction. The video kept playing in the background while you were in the pause menu. Apparently was an issue that has been fixed, and there was a persistent display of player information, your level, your follower, your sub box, and so after aborting a live summit activity. Sometimes that thing kept showing on your screen. That has been fixed at the time as well. The live contracts, there were some issues, translation or localization issues in Spanish and in French. That has been fixed, and delivery editor has been changed in such a way, and that is good news for the creative people out there. That's why I showed the designs. Not that I'm that creative, but I had to stop because we were limited to 10 spots. That is upgraded now to 100 spots per user. You can save up to 100 liberties from tomorrow on. So you can go and create all kind of stuff that you want to create without having to delete previous things that you made. 100, that is not one livery for every single car in the game yet, but with 100 you can already more or less work. Then we go to the new vehicles. Some of them will come throughout the summits, but we also have an elite bundle. I kind of already hinted, have a couple of million around, and that's probably what you're gonna need. Elite bundle number 3, coming tomorrow in the game, has 3 vehicles in it. More than likely it will work as the previous elite bundles, meaning that they are only available in that bundle for about 4 weeks or so, and then the bundle goes out of the shop, and then the cars go separately in the shop. So if you want to get like only one of these vehicles, you're probably gonna have to wait a month or something in that order. But if you save yourself some money, you can buy it tomorrow. What is in that elite bundle? The 2008 Citroën GT hypercar. That is a concept car. The Ferrari 599 XX Evo. That's a touring car. And the Porsche Carrera GT. So we have a concept car, a Ferrari, and a Porsche in that elite bundle. That's more than likely already not going to be that cheap. And on top of that, they have a shop edition, which is also not going to be cheap. More than likely the most expensive in the car of the streets or hypercar family, and that is the Bugatti Veyron 16.4 Grand Sport Vitesse. So yeah, 3 cars in the elite bundle and a Bugatti in the shop. If you do the math on that, a Porsche, a Ferrari, a Bugatti, and a concept car, it's going to cost you a couple of million, I'm assuming. In 2 weeks' time, on December the 4th, or 3 weeks' time, that is the Mazda RX-8 in Street Race will be added to the shop as well. The shop meaning that's the dealers, where you can just buy it in your HQ. Other vehicles will be revealed later, because they will come throughout the summit or in the shop when they are there. The first premium summit is the Ghost Road Summit at November 27th, and that will have the reward, the The Ford F-150 Raptor Race Truck Ghost Race Edition. Yo. Ghost Recon Edition, okay. Whatever. It is a special edition of the Raptor Race Truck, and that is a rally raid vehicle, which is more than likely something we are going to see a bit more happening when it comes to the summit. I think it's going to be less street race tuned, a bit more rally raid, touring car, maybe some Alpha GP. All these disciplines should have a bit of attention, because it is a bit too much street race focused. Nevertheless, we will have some street races here and there as well, showing up, as you can already see, on December the 4th with the Mazda RX-8. Physics-wise, have been made some fixes. The all-wheel drive on the Lamborghini Gallardo Super Trofeo, that is a touring car, I'm assuming, what's missing, that has been fixed. The Dodge Viper GTS Drag Race Edition could move forward while doing a burn with specific pro settings. That has been fixed. The Drag Race Vehicles glitch, allowing players to surpass the vehicle top speed, in other words, the frenetic kick, has been fixed. The Drag Race Vehicles Infinite Nitro glitch after opening the world map has been fixed. Vehicle moving before the engine is actually started has been fixed. Inconsistent breakable object behavior. Monster truck vehicles going through arena stairs. All those kind of things has been fixed. And as we know, there were some four-wheel drive cars in the game which were missing a differential slider. That has been added now. That goes for the Mitsubishi Lancer Black Knight Edition, for the Lamborghini Huracan Performante, and also for the Jaguar F-Type beta handling. The beta handling is those zebra cars, and they were there. You could test them, you could give your feedback to the devs on those three vehicles. That feedback has been taken notes of and then moved into the game in such a way that they sort of have a beta 2.0 version now, and that version will be tested and will be implemented not on a zebra car this time, but on 10 vehicles. 10 vehicles will get the new modeling handling in the game, or the new handling model, or whatever you want to call it. Those 10 vehicles are the Audi RS5 Street Race, the BMW M4 Street Race, the KTM X-Bow Street Race, the Mercedes-Benz SLS Street Race, Volkswagen Golf GTI Street Race, the Ferrari 458 Speciale Hypercar, the Lamborghini Huracan Performante Hypercar, the Lamborghini Veneno Hypercar, McLaren 12C Hypercar, Pagani Zonda F Hypercar, and the Bugatti Divo Magma Edition and Ferrari F12 Tour de France, which are the two latest Summit rewards. There were some issues there with after steering, and especially in S corners they behaved very strange at times. Going over that list of 10 vehicles, I can see most of the changes happening because were needed. Not so sure why the KTM X-Bow and the Audi RS5 were in there. KTM X-Bow was a fun thing to play around with, and the Audi RS5 is probably one of the better street race cars out there. They are also on that list. A dedicated survey will be shared in the upcoming weeks to collect your feedback on this topic. So I can assume that in most of these cases that will be an improvement. The Audi RS5 is already a pretty good one as it is. If they have changed the handling on it now, is that going to be better? Question. We will have to test that from tomorrow on, but I'm a bit worried about the Audi RS5 and also even the KTM, because they were actually good as it is for different input, as we know. Also in my group, I play on keyboard. We have some controller players, we have gamepad players, we have wheel players. All of them don't have any issues, at least I haven't heard of it, with the Audi RS5. So why that car has been taken into this list? Probably to have one or two of the good cars with the new handling model to test it. Probably. We will see. Next to that, changes have been made too. the overall smoothing of the vehicle bouncing behavior during collisions on a hovercraft. So they have been changing the hovercrafts a little bit, especially the bouncing of those things, because yeah, it could bounce all over the place sometimes. So that is also something we need to test. And then there are 3 disciplines which they either balanced out or they completely changed it. And in some of them, I can more or less agree with that. The aerobatics, they have done a handling improvement on the full lineup, so on all the planes, mostly rudder changes. In air race, the balancing has been done in such a way that all the planes should be a bit more balanced out now. That means that, for instance, that deluxe edition thing there, the Pilatus PC-21 should now more or less be flyable, while before it was the worst plane out there. It should be more balanced out. We have some behavior uniformization while keeping differences of each vehicle, so they didn't mess with it too much. They just balanced it out a little bit and improved drift, mainly also here, just like in the aerobatics, some rudder changes. Monster Truck, on the other hand, improved the handling of the Monster Truck full lineup, more specifically with a new tire and suspension system, with increased stability and trajectory anticipation, and with improved precision and acceleration and braking behavior. That more or less means that they have completely changed the Monster Truck, and yeah, we'll have to see how it works out, but in the Crew 1 they were not that bad to drive and to play around with, and you can actually have some fun with that in the Monster Truck events or something in the Summit. In this game, these things were barely drivable. So they have changed it completely. We will see. Yeah, I don't think it can be any worse. So it definitely will be better, but we'll see how good it can be or not from tomorrow on. Definitely something that I will test, because kind of like to have some fun in the monster arenas. In the Crew 1, the Crew 2, yeah, I just let it be because these things were undrivable. So we will see if the, for instance, the misty flips and all that kind of stuff can be done again without ending on your nose or whatever. We will see how much it has improved. That is sort of handling changes, so that is quite a bit. All the planes have been changed in a way. The Monster Truck completely changed. We have 10 vehicles within the Street Hypercar family that has the new modeling, let's say Beta 2.0, because as I said, these will not be Zebra cars. This new updated handling model will be implemented on the cars itself, not on some Zebra model of that. So we will see. Audio fixes have been done for the engine sound of the BMW X6 in Street Race and for the Dodge Viper, as well in Street Race, Drift as Touring. A sound effect for the rev limiter on all rallycross cars vehicles has been improved, and a persistent audio bug while equipping a full performance parts set has been fixed. Worldwide, map-wise that is 17 new events coming, 17 new tracks, as I mentioned before, one track every week within the summit. And please also note that these ones will remain available after the summit in regular progression in activities and by the looks of it, PvE, as they say here. So I don't necessarily know if they're gonna come to PvP. Maybe they will be after a couple of weeks like they did with the other tracks. We will see. They also fixed some inconsistent AI behavior within certain tracks. There was a back on track loop while the AI was more or less stuck there in Port Foliage, a rally raid track. In going to Vegas, the AI sometimes remained stuck on the starting grid. That has been fixed. And in Red Rock, there was incorrect collision behavior on some of the ramps. That has been fixed. Red Rock is also a rally raid track. Some graphical bugs happening here and there, as you can imagine on such a big map. Floating rocks were found on the mountaintop near Yosemite or Yosemite, or how do you ever pronounce that? And a floating house was found somewhere in the San Francisco area that has been fixed as well. Technically fixed, the display PC gamma sliders were not taken into consideration if you were playing on windowed or borderless full screen modes. That should be fixed now. What they have also fixed is for controllers unable to rebind, accelerate or brake actions to controller buttons A and B, and also a key binding conflict between the quick messaging and the horns. Quick messaging being the emote panel. So yeah, that's also some specific controller fixes that they have done there. So what is this update about? Of course, new summits, new tracks coming into throughout the weeks that will show up, and a bunch of handling changes, planes, monster trucks, and then also on some of the cars. Other than that, we have to see and wait and test and drive and get our hands on these new cars. At this moment in time, personally, that's gonna be a bit tricky, I think, because I don't have the 5 million ready to go. I don't know if we need 5 million. I don't know the exact prices yet, but I'm assuming it's not gonna be that cheap. We have a Bugatti, a Porsche, a Ferrari, and a concept car. If you want to get all of them, you're probably gonna be at least 3.5, 4 million lighter, if not 5 million. We will see tomorrow. Other than that, let's see, a Citroen, a Ferrari, a Porsche, a Bugatti, a Mazda, that's 5. We have the Ford Raptor Ghost Recon, that's 6. They said 12 new vehicles. That means that there will be more revealed within the shop or summit in the upcoming weeks, obviously. And other than that, stuff that what had been missing or people have been complaining about, like those differential sliders not being there and stuff like that. And for the designers, from 10 to 100. This is sort of, yeah, in a way, this is this whole thing is a 4-step program if you look at it like that. This being the first step, a bit more, and also a bit more new features with update number 6. That is somewhere in spring. In summer, update number 7 will bring also some new features again. And then what they're actually working on is update number 8, and that is the big thing. But do not let you guys wait too long. They sort of picked out a little bit here and there from that thing, which will be big as it is. And they sort of reveal whatever is ready, let's put it that way. They give it to us already in some smaller updates. This one, the one in spring, and the one in summer. And then update number 8 will be the thing where it's all kind of stuff coming into play. From this moment till somewhere around this time next year, I guess, we're gonna get 5, 6, 7, and 8 4 updates. This is the first one, which already has all kind of stuff going on. We need new cars that we need to test. We need to have a look at certain disciplines, because we might have like some other OP planes, or we need to see the monster truck. How good is it? That kind of stuff. A lot of testing to do in the upcoming weeks and days, as soon as the game is available to play, obviously. It will go down at 10 AM tomorrow, Paris time that is. And then they bring it in, and as soon as it's good to go, they release it, and then we can download the 15.5 gigabytes, depending on your internet connection. That might go fast or slow, and then you can start playing. That is for this update. The update on my channel is pretty much, yeah, according to this, we will do the new summits, obviously. Nope, the summit will go on. Of course, no longer nope in such a way. We have yellow sets all over the place. So we maybe put more effort and go for the top 1% from now on PC, meaning that's a top 30 spot somewhere with our nope drivers. That will be on Saturday. I'm gonna do a Saturday summit on Twitch. I'm moving a little bit more to Twitch. On Thursday, I'm more than likely gonna do Thursday trucking, a bit of Euro Truck. On Tuesday, we have the weekly invasion in the Division 2. And then somewhere in between, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, we will see. Might be a bit of the crew, might be a bit of the division, might be even Need for Speed Heat or something. We will see. I will occasionally export, like for instance the Nobda Summit. I always export that video to YouTube, and other than that, depending on the views that we get on YouTube, I will export. If not, I will just stream. On Twitch, you can always see the video there for about 2 weeks. I think they stay there before they actually remove them. So that is sort of the update for the game and the update for the channel as well. I will see you guys around for sure in the upcoming days and weeks, because we have a lot of things to test. Bye for now.